the end of a really long day and you really just want to be a person because you've just been like, a parent the whole day and you're tired and you're exhausted and I should go to sleep. But then you find yourself like watching one extra TV show or scrolling a little longer or reading that extra chapter that turns into extra 15 chapters. And then, you're exhausted. And then the next day when you're trying to go to sleep, your body eventually takes over, but your mind is still trying to be like, at your head the whole time you're trying to fall asleep. And then you kind of sleep really crappy because the things you didn't process are just like coming to anyway. Have you ever just like had this like that process of trying to like live a life completely fair, completely rational? I mean, we should want to be humans outside of our children, but like we're also kind of like wanting to like escape. Fair. Look around. The landscape is escapable. Like that's what we want to do. But the more we escape, what we're trying to escape more so is what we're feeling. And what's hilarious about that is when we choose to do the escaping and running away from the feeling, we actually give ourselves the thing that we don't want to have, which is the permanence of that feeling. When we don't sit down with ourselves and just like allow the feeling to exist and acknowledge the feeling, it stays. Like, okay, when you had a really crappy day and you want to be there and like, oh my gosh, the kids, blah, 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 and you want somebody to be like, that's awful, I'm so sorry. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I feel so much better because somebody validated my experience because I was like a human and they were like, yeah, that was humaning and that was like not fun. And then you all of a sudden, if we just do that for our feelings instead of like running away, and I'm telling this to myself too because I am so guilty of not wanting to do that. It's not fun. It's not fun to have the whole feelings of the things you don't want to deal with. Like, it's not what you want to do after a long day of dealing with everybody else's feelings. I don't want to deal with my feelings. But the more that I run away from the feelings, the more I'm actively capturing myself and imprisoning myself with those feelings. It takes less time if I was just willing to do the hard thing. And sometimes I am, and sometimes that's great. And then I can move on and I can actually take care of myself and go to bed. And then I wake up in the morning and I don't feel like poo. But a lot of times I forget this notion because you know what? It's the end of a long day. And honestly, if that's you too, have grace for yourself. We're humans. It's our first humaning and it's hard.